Have you ever had surgery?
I have had surgery.
You have.
So yeah,
Oh, and to expand on that, have you ever broke a bone?
I've never broken a bone.
No?
I have never broken a bone. I'm not too athletic. I'm not too crazy.
Tell us about the surgery.
So the surgery. So it's actually this is a really pathetic story. Not gonna lie. So in high school, I punctured my eardrums 3 times in 2 years.
Wrestling? Had you?
No, not wrestling. This is really actually. I'm telling you, this is pathetic. I mean, it's really pathetic. So the first one, I was at my friend Evan's house. This is probably.
Is it haha pathetic or like I feel bad for you pathetic?
You know what? You can be the judge. I don't know. You
like, am I gonna like find this amusing?
Honestly, I'll find some funny in there somewhere because there's some pretty crazy things in the story.
Yeah.
So the first one, pool party, my friend Evan's house. I dove to the bottom of his pool, maybe like 7-8 foot pool, like not crazy deep.
You were that guy?
Yeah, I do. His thing, I never dive. I never dive. But I decided to do a dive, and I jumped to the bottom of the pool, and I felt this pressure to split in my head.
No.
And I got out of the pool screaming, like, "What the fuck is going on?" And
so you didn't hit the bottom of the pool with your head?
No. So what happened was I jumped in the pool, and the pressure became so fast, my eardrum just split from the pressure. The change in pressure.
Oh man!
So the eardrum split. I had no idea. I thought I had swimmer's ear. Like my head was very. There's a lot of fluid in my ear because there's a hole in it. So like I'm like shaking my head like fucking like this for like 3 hours.
I bet it feels crazy.
Yeah, it does feel pretty nice. Like my balance was a little off, and like my head was just heavy. Like I was laying back like this, trying to drain out my ear, and like fluid was draining out of my ear, but it was just like ear fluid.
Okay.
It was.
So you had to get surgery for that?
No, that one I didn't.
Oh.
So that one I went to the doctor. And he said, give it 2 months, 3 months. I don't know how long he said.
He's like, deal with this a long time longer.
He said, give it some time. And then if it heals naturally on its own, you're good. And if it doesn't, I'll go in and I'll do surgery.
You sure this guy was a doctor?
100%. He's one who did my surgery.
See if it just goes away.
So it did. It healed up on its own because as your body does, the hole plugged, and I was good. The second time, the next summer, I was at the Jersey Shore on vacation with my family and my friend going up to Denapolis. So shout out to the Denapolis. And I was in the ocean and like playing in the waves, and the waves are pretty rough. And I was like just jumping headfirst into the waves, and this really big wave came over me and smacked right in the side of the head. And the pressure from the wave hitting me, it split. So I had a pressure from a wave and the depth of a pool. I got out of the pool and I go, Mom, I punctured my eardrum. She goes, how do you know? I'm like, trust me, I know.
You're like the last story.
The last story. I was like, i.e. last summer. So this is the first day of the vacation too, nonetheless. So
that's usually how it works.
We go back to our like condo or whatever, and they thought it was swimmer's ear again. So they put eardrops in, and
I bet you have a much larger respect for water now.
Oh yeah, like remember the from the hot sauce in the eye story.
Yeah, a friend of mine, she's had some like near drowning experiences, and she's like, let's just say I respect large bodies of water.
I respect the water.
She's like, I don't hate the water. I'll get in, but I have much more respect for it. I respect its gangster, basically. Like I know the power.
So yeah, that one was really bad. That was bad. So that ruined my whole vacation. We ended up going to the hospital, and they take the stethoscope, whatever, and look at my ear. They go, yeah, it's punctured. I go, I know it's punctured.
I've done this.
And then so same thing. Back from vacation, went to the same doctor. He's like, all right, give it 2 months, and we'll see what happens. So 2 months go by, and here's how I know I needed surgery. This is the craziest part of the whole story.
Well, you need surgery.
This one I needed surgery for.
Okay.
So how I knew, I would sit very still, and I would just like pretty much just breathe in through my nose a certain way, where I would feel the air going through my ear, through the hole in the eardrum. I could feel the air. I would breathe through my ear. I would breathe through my ear, Christian.
Yeah, that's not fucking normal, bro.
No, it's not normal at all.
You're supposed to breathe through your mouth and through your nose, bro.
I would take a deep breath and
Why are you breathing through? You're supposed to breathe through your mouth and your nose.
I'd feel the cool breeze going right through the eardrum. I go, ugh, a nice little shiver down my spine. So that one, it's like the doc's like, you ready? I'm like, it needs surgery. He's like, how do you know? I'm like, trust me. So he looks in, he's like, yep, you need surgery. So that one I had surgery on. I was out for a few hours maybe. How they do it is they go in your ear. They go behind the eardrum, take some cartilage, and then plug it in. I have no idea how, because they didn't there's no scar on my ear. I was like, did he just have little, how did he do it? How did he do it? How do you take a little needle or a little scoop it, a little, like an ice cream scooper, go behind the eardrum?
I don't know how they figure out half the shit out. Like, right? you know, like, whose idea was it to, let's say, for example, a family member of mine had, an aneurysm, terrible stuff. But, to alleviate these problems, they, drill into your, who was the first guy or gal? But we know how the oppression of women, so it's probably a guy.
Yep.
So let's say the first guy who decided, I'm gonna go at a person's skull with a drill, and that's gonna fix a problem.
I'm gonna plug someone's eardrum to see how this works.
Or do that little thing that I don't know what that was, but do that. Who was the first person?
No idea.
You know what I mean? Because it's like you can't learn karate from a book. So somebody had to do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm very impressed with what humans have come up with for a lot of things.
So that one needed surgery, and a few weeks after the surgery, because I took maybe a week off of school, give or take, just to recover.
Right.
But I couldn't get my ear wet because it had to finish healing, so I couldn't get any water in my ear. In fact, for the whole.
So you didn't shower
for a few weeks. Well, I don't know.
Or you wore earmuffs in the shower.
I did shower. So even during the process of the hole being in there, I couldn't get any water in it because if water got past that hole, I could lose my whole hearing.
Oh, this was serious.
This was very serious. I could have lost my whole entire hearing.
This was the brink.
So I had to get.
And how old were you?
I was high school. So this is
because kids are stupid. Yeah. So you could have easily somehow.
Well, dude,
carelessly.
So here's where it gets really dumb.
You're a teenager.
So the first time I punctured the eardrum, I jumped back in the pool and did a really hard breathe through my nose, and trying to get all the water out of my ears. So I thought, I know I'm gonna get water out of my ears. I'm gonna go jump back in the pool. So that didn't work. I got home. I was like, well, if I just take a shower, because every now and then, I go to the beach, I get water in my ears.
More water.
I thought, yeah, freshman high school. I thought more water was a trick. So it wasn't. It wasn't at all.
It wasn't the trick.
So it
didn't fix it.
I had to get an earplug. So I took an earplug in the shower during those 2 months. I had to wait for it to plug up. But after I got the surgery, I had to put cotton balls in my ear, for 2 weeks, in school.
You had to walk around like that.
Yeah, I had to walk around like that. I couldn't play.
Which story was supposed to be pathetic?
This whole story is pathetic.
Okay.
The even more pathetic part's kind of coming up.
I mean, it's not really pathetic.
It's kind of like how because of course this happens to Will.
Well, yeah.
So I couldn't participate in band class because the percussion could ruin my hearing. I don't know. I took the excuse and did homework. But I'd wear cotton balls, and I remember there was a fire alarm. There's a fire drill in the middle of band practice, and we went outside, and someone was like, because it was cold. He's like, "Are you seriously putting cotton balls in your ear because it's cold?" I'm like, "No, I had surgery." He's like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, yeah,
fortunately, I didn't. Fortunately, I never had. I never really had any major injuries.
No, me neither.
It was really my sister who has a theory. She finally broke the curse. She would get injured on every odd year of her life, severe injuries, that involved. She's busted open her chin twice. She's had concussions. She's had torn ligaments, torn things on odd number years. I think she finally broke the cycle at after 17. It's she'd be walking around on eggshells the odd number years and still end up hurting herself, maybe, which might have contributed because when you were worried about something, sometimes that's the thing that does it.
That's what happens.
Broke her arm. She's done so many things.
So you've never had surgery?
The closest thing that I had to a serious injury where I could have potentially needed surgery is that I had a very bad concussion from football practice my freshman year of high school, doing a drill known as the Nutcracker.
Oh, Jesus.
Which is basically two dudes hike, run straight towards each other, knock the shit out of each other. That's the goal.
Yeah,
one person has the ball, other person's trying to tackle. It's a fun time. I started sports in general, or football, very late. The people I'm going against are trying to go D1. I'm at a football high school where like football is the thing, private school, and even with public school, the kids I were playing against had been playing football since like kinder kickers, like pee-wee football, kindergarten type of stuff. I started playing football first time 7th grade. And I'm going into high school with like barely any experience, and I got the shit knocked out of me. And I woke up when I was already awake, if that makes any sense. I was just in the daze, on the bench, and I just come to.
Where am I?
And I'm looking. And the thing is, this school, like again, I reiterate, it's a football school. It's like, good, you threw up, now you could keep running. Like sergeants, like no mercy. This coach showed me compassion. He's like, after that hit, he's like, yo, you want to sit down, bro? You want to go get some water? That's the last thing I remembered. I wake up, I'm looking around. I see my pads over there. I see my helmet over there. I see my cleats down the way. And I'm like, nah, this ain't right. This is not right. My head is like breathing. It's like, I call my dad. I'm like, yo, I don't know what happened. You got to come get me. Takes me to the hospital. My nerves are all messed up. So I'm like projectile vomiting because I really rattled my brain. And I want to go to sleep, but it's the last thing you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you're not supposed to go to sleep with a concussion.
So he's like, don't go to sleep, Chris. Don't go to sleep. Stay with me. It's like John Q. Have you ever seen this?
I have. Love that
where
movie.
Where he picks up his son off the baseball field and it's all dramatic and he's Denzel in it.
Yo, that movie.
Yeah,
that
so
fucking movie.
It was kind of like that, except I wasn't like a toddler or like whatever. He was like a 8-year-old or whatever. I was like 15. And I went to the hospital. They did the MRIs. They looked at my brain. They said, yeah, it's bad, but he's good. And I went to sleep, and I woke up 8 hours later. I slept for 8 hours after that hit.
Nice good night's sleep.
In the middle of the day.
Nice good night's sleep.
But it caused some memory loss. And sometimes I think back to that moment where sometimes when I forget things, I'm like, might have been that concussion.
Well, what surgery would they have done on you?
I don't know. I mean, I don't doubt man. You know what I mean? They come up with something.
Yeah, fair enough.
Something just for me. I mean, who decided to put like what is it? They put a nail in the knee, or what is it? They put a screw? A screw.
Yeah, screws.
Screw.
Yep. Or in your hips.
Yeah, I mean, who comes up with this stuff?
Doctors.
So, the people who do that, I don't know if they would have had a solution, but apparently it was the worst concussion you could have.
Okay. So
I'm not CTE with it though. I'm not.
That's good. That's good.
You know.
The third time I punctured my eardrum, I was playing basketball.
Oh my God, are you serious? Another eardrum?
Yeah. So,
I don't know if I could handle this.
I told you it was three times in 2 years. So the third time was the next school year. Actually, no, it was actually the same school year. It was just later that June. So I literally I got the surgery November, and then the following June I punctured it again. So, Dude. So this is the most.
I hope there's not water involved in this.
No,
one.
There's no water. This one's just like, wow, this is just bad luck. So me and my friend Jeremy were playing basketball. It's the last gym class of the year, and I'm just fucking with him. I'm just kind of jabbing him, like poking him or whatever. Yeah. And he goes, "Well, fuck off!" And he smacks me at the side of the head.
In the same side.
Right ear twice, left ear got surgery. So he smacked me on the right ear. And then the way his hand...
So that one is the one that was already punctured.
Both of them were already punctured. Both of them got punctured. But
both of them.
The third one was the right ear for the second time. So when he smacked me inside the head, his hand just goes over my ear the right way, and that suction popped it.
Like that karate move where they say on somebody's head, that actually does damage. That actually does. That's not just in movies.
I can confirm it does indeed do damage.
It does the thing.
And I just go, fuck, Jimmy, you just punctured my eardrum. He's like, what do you mean? I go, what? I just go,
this is actually kind of hilarious.
Yeah, right? So
now that you're telling me a third time and you know immediately.
I knew immediately. I knew immediately both times.
It's like a bit where a woman who just had sex knows she's pregnant because she's been pregnant so many times.
Yep.
Like it just happened. She's like,
God damn it.
She's like, I'm pregnant. It's like, how could you fucking know that?
I'm pregnant.
She's like, I just feel it. I know. They made it.
It's a girl too, by the way.
they made it.
Dude, it's like every now and then I'll just breathe in through my nose that way just to check my eardrums, just to check. But then I went and saw the doctor the third time. He's like, bro, again? He's like, I'll gladly take the check for another surgery, but again? And luckily, no hearing loss. No, my hearing is 100% fine, which is shocking to me. Although I will.
You did one of those tests.
Yeah, I do the test in the office
with the beeps.
The beeps, and you psych yourself out. But I swear to God, I don't have hearing loss, but I think my perception of hearing is different. So I'll think I'm.
I mean, because sometimes you think the mic's not on.
Exactly. Well, it's it's not necessarily that. It's more of I think I'm being quiet, but I'm not. Like, to me, I'm not talking loud, but I am. That's not,
well, that's usually people who do that. Usually it's because they can't hear, though.
Yeah.
Usually.
Well, but I've had the test and my hearing's totally fine, so I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I mean, you're just a loud talker.
I've always been a loud talker.
I think you're just a passionate guy.
I'm definitely a passionate guy. But
you're a passionate guy.
But when I'm yelling on this podcast, I don't realize I'm yelling. To me, I think I'm just talking like normal voice. Like my inside voice.
Yeah, if this wasn't soundproofed, you know.
Yeah.
There's a guy yelling.
All the time.
Every Monday at 6 o'clock, but today it's Thursday.
And I'm in here by myself. At least you're behind the window.